Derek, you need to run. Do you hear me? Run. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Married at First Sight season 19, episode 7. I don't know what's wrong with Meghan, but homegirl got issues. And I mean real issues. We definitely got some things to get into, but before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you have yet to subscribe, I'm just trying to figure out why. All I want to do is hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've been putting out the content, and all I need for you is to subscribe, okay? So go ahead and do that for me. If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm doing okay, I'm doing well, and I'm ready to talk about Married at First Sight because I see some progress being made, but I also see a disaster happening, okay? So let's just go ahead and get into it. So Will and Britney are getting in for work and they're checking in on each other. I think that is so cute that he asked her about her soaps. That means that he takes interest in what she got going on. Now listen, I was a Passions girl. I was young. I was really young, but I was watching Passions, okay? Now I know my mother loved Days of Our Lives and what is it, All My Children and things like that, but I was up there watching Passions, and I actually tried to watch it not too long ago, and I was like, what in the world? What in the world was this, okay? But nonetheless, she's cooking for him. She said that it is her first time cooking, so she is super excited, and she hopes that it's good, right? So she makes the food, and she's like staring him down like, is it good? Is it good? And he's like, yeah, it's good, and I'm like, okay, good. So far, Britney and Will seem to be doing well, but I'll be lying if I say that Britney is going to end up sabotaging this. It's not going to be Will, it's going to be Britney. So here's the thing, right? She's sitting there and she asked him, does her hair shedding bother him? And he was like, I mean, yeah, but it's your hair. Like, it's not going to stop shedding because I'm bothered. So it's nothing I can do about it. So she's like, does anything bother you? Do you have any pet peeves? And I'm like, girl, why do you want this man to be aggravated and annoyed so bad? Why do you want him to be irritated so bad? If it doesn't bother him, it doesn't bother him. So he said that he hate having to repeat himself or reiterate things. So she's like, is this your way of telling me to stop asking you? Girl, it's going to be Britney. It's going to be Britney because, girl, why? Why do you want to make problems when problems don't exist? If the man hasn't pointed out any pet peeves yet, there's no reason to go looking for them, okay? Because trust me, they will pop up. Like my husband, when he cooks, he leaves all the cabinets open, all the drawers open. I hate it. But now I'm just like, you know what? It's not a battle that I'm willing to fight. I just go and slam all the daggone cabinets closed after he's done. Because I don't cook, so I can't complain. So we found out that he's leaving for work and he's going to be gone for the next 4 days. And it is normal for him to travel for work. And she's like sad about that. And I totally get it because baby, no, you can't work overnight. You can't go away for more than 1 day from me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. So she's sitting there pouting because she's sad. And he's like, so that's how you express your sadness. And she's like, yeah. And he was like, well, since you want to go through all the emotions, let me see you happy. Let me see you angry. Let me see you mad. They are growing on me. Their interactions this episode have been really, really cute. Even the banter, I feel like they really starting to get into the groove of learning each other's personality, and I'm loving it. Britney, don't mess this up. So Pat and Rhonda also seems to be in the better place because they kissed and made up. That just means that after they had that argument, they went in that bed and they had some good sex, and now they forgot that they was even mad at each other, okay? When they sit down to talk, she tells him that she wants to work on making him feel safe. She's working on her directness and things like that because she doesn't want him to feel as though he can't come talk to her. And she doesn't want him to become resentful. So she really wants to put in some work to make some changes. Now, someone reminded me in my comments when her children said that she needs to tone it down because she can be a lot. Yes, Rhonda, you can definitely be a lot. But I'm glad that she's taking the tools and she's learning and applying. That's all that we can ask at this moment, okay? So moving forward, these two are going to have more intentional conversations, okay? She says she knows she's going to mess up a few times, and she would like for him to give her gentle reminders and to just be patient with her. And I think that's fair. As long as you're trying. As long as you're trying and we see a way forward, I think that is fair. So Chad has the opportunity to do a seafood boil or a crawfish boil for his new family. Because Jaylen and Josh is his new family, and then his son comes over. The crawfish look good. I would eat it, okay? Now, y'all know I'm a big mukbang type of girl, so if I see something that I like, yeah, I would eat it. And when they said it was spicy, I say, give me that. Give me that. But nonetheless, Belynda loves this. And I remember that she said her form of intimacy is cooking together and doing things together. So for her, I feel like this is something that she always really wanted, especially in a romantic partner. And even Jaylen is just so happy that she's finally getting to be loved out loud the way she always wanted to be. So Chad is talking to Josh and his son, and he's telling them how he told Belynda he loves her. And they like, so did she say it back? She ain't said it back yet. And I said, that's interesting. Belynda is definitely playing it safe. She's keeping her guards up, and I don't blame her, because at this point, there's obviously something about Chad that's keeping her guarded. And I always say, go with your intuition, go with your gut. And if it's stopping you from letting the walls completely down, go with it. Go with it. But meanwhile, Belynda is telling Jaylen how she didn't want to just say it because he said it. That was his moment. It was special. And when she feels it, she'll say it back. And I feel like that's only fair. There's no point in just saying I love you just to say I love you and you really don't feel it. But that's the small talk, because we have some bigger things to get into. So Jaylen was telling her mom how she's been thinking about this post-num that Josh wants. Okay? Now, Belynda's telling her, listen, my only concern is that if for some reason you become a stay-at-home mom, are you going to be protected? If y'all get divorced, are you going to be protected? Jaylen said that she never plans on being a stay-at-home mom, but she also saw how hard it was for her mother to transition after her divorce. So she doesn't want to ever be in that position. I don't know why y'all got to make this so complicated. I've been saying all you have to do is find a way to protect yourself in the post-nup. Meaning, right in the post-nup, if for any reason I become a stay-at-home mom to take care of our children and we get divorced, whatever we accumulated in this marriage should be divided 50-50. Point blank, period. It doesn't have to be that hard. And I feel like if she does that, that will give her more insight onto how Josh views stay-at-home moms in the position that you play in the house and taking care of those children. Because if for some reason you did become a stay-at-home mom, right? Daycare's high, you decide to take 3 years off to raise your kids till they start school or whatever the case may be, and you just so happen to get divorced in that, is he going to leave you high and dry? Is that the plan? Is that how he feels? Is that how he thinks? Because he has this post-nup. Like, are you entitled to anything that y'all built together since y'all been married? I really think that that is a conversation that they need to have, especially if a post-nup is in place. So Rhonda got Pat out there moving all them flower pots. I'm like, yo, you got to give that man a break, okay? He's a man of a certain age. You don't want him to throw his back out. Then he ain't going to be able to put the motion in the ocean, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But nonetheless, she says that she's enjoying his company, but she does have some, concerns about moving in together. So she wants to talk to him and let him know that the hesitation that she has isn't because it's him, okay? She said that in her previous relationship, she moved in with the man a week before they got married, right? And when they moved in, after a while, she decided that she wanted to put up some curtains. She wanted to decorate. And the guy was like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. This is my house. And how uncomfortable she felt living in that house, okay? And she does not want to put Pat in that same position. If that's not the type of person you are, then why would you put Pat in that same position? That's the only question that I have. Because if you want him there and he's there and y'all enjoying each other and now this becomes a us thing, why would you think that you would be that type of person? Unless you are that type of person. Now, I know that you have lived in this place for 25 years, raised your kids in it, it's your space, right? But to already have the idea that that is the way you would behave is kind of weird to me. I don't think that Rhonda is actually really ready to live with Pat. But Pat tells her we don't have to figure this out now. You might have to figure it out soon, okay? Because if you're going to stay married, what does that look like? Is there going to be a transition period where I'm moving gradually? Are we going to go dive deep into it? Am I going to stay with my mother and come visit on the weekends? Like, what does this look like going forward? Because y'all only have 8 weeks to figure it out. But then that also brings me to the question, like, Pat, are you going to be able to leave your mother in the house alone? Does she need you there to take care of her? What does that look like for you? Is moving in with Rhonda even really an option at this point? They definitely need to figure this out sooner than later. So Dr. P is going to talk to Jaylen and Josh, and I said good, because it's the perfect time to have that conversation about the post-num. Because honestly, that's the only thing that these two have going on right now that can cause an issue in their relationship. So when Dr. P gets there, she says, oh, I found out that you guys have been having a great time. Everything seems perfect. Y'all agree on everything, but like y'all can't possibly agree on everything, right? Right. So she has them turn away from each other and she asks them questions, okay, to see if there's a disconnect anywhere, because apparently these two seem to be perfect for each other. So she's asking them about the family dynamic. They both seem to have a good and a neutral experience when it comes to family, right? They talk about having the passwords to the phone, and we agree on having passwords to the phone. Everything seems fine with that, right? But when it goes down to DMing and talking to your exes, that's when things got a little sketchy. That's when things got a little sketchy, because she said she don't communicate with her exes. Now, Josh said that he will cut off all communication with his ex. And I'm like, well, why are you still in that much communication with your ex? I can understand following someone on Instagram, because everybody don't break up and be like, unfollow, right? They don't automatically just block them unless they have like this really bad breakup. So I'm not saying I don't know why you follow her, but I don't know why you're still in constant communication with her enough to make it a point to say that you will stop. I feel like that's kind of sketchy. Because Josh, do you still want your ex-girlfriend? What's tea? Now, he said that he's going to stop talking to her because he saw how uncomfortable it made Jaylen feel. We going to have to see. Because in the preview, it looks like he doesn't want to stop talking to her. I knew it. Something in me was telling me that this just might be too good to be true. So the next question is it easy to talk to your partner about money? Now, they both said that it is, right? And I'm like, clearly it's not, because y'all still have not addressed this post-up situation. Also, I would like to know, does Josh plan on being a provider, okay? Is he going to be paying all the bills? Like, I mean, mostly the mortgage. Maybe she'll pick up some other bills or whatever, but is he going to be the main provider for the household? These are questions that I want to know, especially because he wants the post-num. So I would really like to know how he views this, especially because he made it very clear that he didn't want his wife to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm starting to wonder if Josh is generous. There's a difference between men who have money and then men who have money that's okay with spending money. Now, I know he got a ring for her, and that's an upgrade. That's his wife. She deserves that, right? But is he a generous man? Something about Josh says he might not be as generous as I think he is. But nonetheless, Dr. P said, well, let's talk about this post-num. But Jaylen made it a point straight off the back, like, I don't want your money. I don't need your money. Granted, you shouldn't want his money. You shouldn't need his money. I got that. But when y'all become one and y'all become a unit, how does that look for y'all as a family? Because right now it's still giving 50-50, because she said she wants to keep her bank account and he keeps his own. And because she said all of that, now he's fine without having a post-num, because he feels as though if they was to get divorced, she wouldn't take him for all he got anyway. I don't know. This whole situation about the finances and the post-num and everything, it very much feels like it's inauthentic and we're missing something. I don't think Jaylen is as comfortable as she says she is. I think she's just saying it because it sounds good, and she wants this to work so bad that she's willing to compromise in that area, especially because she brought up with how her relationship is with her mother because she was a stay-at-home mom, which lets me know that if the opportunity presents itself, she might take it. I don't think she's being completely honest with herself, but we really going to have to see. But nonetheless, I guess the post-num is out the window and everything is fine and everything is great, which is bothering me. It's bothering me because whenever a couple is too perfect, it always ends bad, because I feel like we're still meeting their representatives. And I'm not saying that they need to be at each other's throat, because even our favorite couples had some type of disagreements or arguments. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So Derek goes to talk to his friend, and they sitting there discussing what the future looks like, because his friend know that he wants kids, right? And Derek's like, yes, he wants 3 kids. He's not really sure where Meghan stands when it comes to having kids. He knows that she wants kids because she froze her eggs, right? But he wants a big family. And his friend lets him know, like, well, that's something that you need to talk to her about, because if that's something that you want, then you need to be able to make an informed decision when the time comes. So now Derek is realizing how important this conversation is, because he said for him, he's not willing to compromise on having a big family. Now, here's my thing. You got married at first sight. God forbid your wife wasn't able to have children. God forbid when the time comes and y'all try to conceive, she's not able to have children. Are you going to be like, oh no, we're getting divorced because you can't give me children? So I feel like you need to be very careful about saying you're not willing to compromise. It's clear that she wants kids and you want kids too, but she's also 38. So having 3 kids means that y'all need to have kids right now. Right, like literally right now. She's the one that needs to end up being pregnant by the end of the season. But don't get that girl pregnant. She crazy. Don't do it, Derek. Don't do it. Now, Britney and Will's FaceTime, adorable. I smiled the whole time. And it sounds like they've been getting real intimate, like they've been having sex or whatever. They seem to both be happy, missing each other, making cute little jokes. Like, I was in my feels. And when I said that I had hope and I saw potential, yeah. Clock it. All those people. No, it's not there, Chloe. They toxic. No, they just needed to learn each other's personality. And once they figured it out, I feel like we getting somewhere, baby. We might get that black love story after all. I'm just saying. But at this point, the episode is going way too good, right? Right. So, of course, we get over to Meghan and Derek. Now, Meghan took Derek around her office and everything is going well. They're playing pool. They're drinking wine. Now, it is time to have the conversation. Did I think having a conversation about children would go like this? Absolutely not. But here we are. So, he tells her that he wants to talk to her about family planning because he was talking to his friend about it earlier. And he's not sure where she stands on that. And she said, well, that's for you to inquire. And he was like, yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up. It seems to me that she feels like he's unsure about her because he doesn't know where she stands when it comes to having kids. Her defensiveness started to creep up very, very slowly. And baby, when it showed up, it showed up. So she's like, so you're bringing this up because your friend brought it up? Okay, whatever. She tells him, yes, I want kids. But I'm freaked out at the idea of having kids. And I could understand that. Millions of women lose their life all the time giving birth. And I know a lot of people think that it's something that's so natural. And yes, it is, but it's also very risky. I have a friend who literally almost died at 5 months because of pregnancy. And after they saved her and her baby at 5 months pregnant, she now has kidney failure and high blood pressure because of it. Pregnancy and giving birth is a very, very risky thing. It is something that we should not take lightly at all, okay? So I can understand why she would be freaked out at giving birth. She's telling him at this point how she's starting to get really irritated because if you know me, then you know how excited I am about having kids. And that's the thing, Meghan, he don't know you. Y'all haven't even been together for a month yet. He doesn't know you, which is why he's asking you these questions. She's like, apparently we've been having sex all the time unprotected. So I'm guessing that means that she's okay with having kids right now. That's the only assumption that I got from it, right? Right. So she tells him that she feels blindsided because he was having this conversation with his friends instead of having a conversation with her. I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he discussed this with his friend. Now he's asking you how you feel about it. And instead of just giving him answers, you getting defensive because he had this conversation with someone else. Like, be for real. Nobody can talk to you, Meghan, because as soon as they bring up an issue, you get like this. She tells him if I didn't want to have kids, I would effing say that. She's telling him how he's pissing her off and she's getting heated, flipping the hair back, all the hand movements, body gestures. Like, I was so annoyed looking at her because this conversation did not need to go this way. He's like, wait a minute, hold on. You're getting defensive. And this is why I have concerns with bringing anything up to you. At this point, if I was Derek, I would stop talking to her because it's clear that anytime he brings up an issue, she's going to act like this. And I wouldn't even want kids with someone who's going to act like this every time I bring up an issue. Because God knows all the issues that's going to arise when you have some kids. You're going to be in constant arguments, constant defensiveness. She's always feeling blindsided. My God. And then I got really confused because I'm trying to figure out why does she think that he's playing games? She's like, don't play games with me. He like, I'm not playing no games. She said, that's what it seems like. I'm confused. What happened? What games is the man playing? The man literally sat there and asked you, do you want to have children? We couldn't even get to how many kids you wanted. We never got to that point. She's so concerned about the simple fact that he had a conversation with somebody else. that she can't even understand how hard it is for somebody to talk to her. Every episode, Meghan, you have shown me why you are single. It is hard to be with someone like you. It is hard to communicate with someone like you. Anyway, y'all, let's move on. Will's back home. Britney is happy. Everything seems to be going good. I got nervous a little bit because I'm like, don't tell me Will and Britney about to get into it. I can't trust a good feeling for too long, especially with couples like Meghan and Derek being a couple we just left off of, okay? But nonetheless, them two just enjoyed each other on the couch, hugged up, kissed, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, the hope is there. The hope is there. So the men go meet up and the women go meet up and they start talking about their relationships and how's it going. And overall, the men are in their learning phase, okay? They're learning their partners and how to compromise and how to communicate so they can get through the downs that they've been going through and have more ups. And I love the fact that that's the key word for the men, learning. Okay, now the women are talking and they realize that they could have missed out on a lot of good relationships because of the little things that they let get in the way. Okay, they start discussing how because they are married, they are literally forcing themselves to work on themselves and their partners and compromise. And I love that. Britney said if she wasn't married to Will, she would have been left him. And I said, I honestly didn't think I was going to get this far. So that's very valid, very much valid. Okay, but nonetheless, Meghan and Derek don't have that much to say about their relationships, because at this point they are really in a bad place. Okay, Meghan didn't really say anything at all. Okay, she said that she feels like what happens between her and Derek is between her and Derek, and she don't want to bring anybody else into their mess. And I completely get it. I totally understand. Right now, Derek is trying to explain what's going on in his relationship without telling too much, but everybody's pretty much picking up what he's putting down. And I love the fact that Chad said that we need to allow ourselves grace because this is something that none of us has ever experienced before, and it's a lot. And I've been saying that over and over again, that you guys have to give yourself some time to learn each other. Stop thinking that because you have an argument or because you have an issue that you're not meant to be together. You still have time to figure this out. Even if this was the real world, you will still have time to figure this out. Nonetheless, all I got to say is that everybody needs to get some grace except for daggone Meghan. Derek, run. Don't give that girl no grace. She's crazy. Now, I think Chad done had too many drinks, but I'm here for it, okay? Because he is floating. And I love me a happy, romantic drunk, okay? He came in the house. I love you. You're so beautiful. Swinging her around, dancing with her. And he's like, I love you. And she's like, I love you. And I said, now that's what I'm talking about. That's how you're supposed to come home from a drunk night with your boys, okay? Come home and tell me you love me and hold me in your arms and do all the things of the things. They shared this nice, intimate moment. And now they're about to go do what grown people do. Love that for them. So now Derek and Meghan are at their apartment. Derek just trying to have a conversation. So tell me about your girls' night. She's like, there's nothing to tell you. What? Why? I would not talk to her. I would not. Like, I would have just went in the room and closed the door because she's insufferable. So he's like, so what did you share about us? She's like, I didn't share nothing. I don't feel like that's none of their business. But what did you share? He said, I told them the truth. We've been having some fights. I was just being honest. And of course she doesn't like that because she feels like that's something that they should keep between them two. But my thing is, Meghan, can't nobody talk to you about nothing. Y'all can't even sit down and have a conversation about a dog, yet alone having children. You think that y'all will be able to have a conversation about how y'all want to keep things between y'all two? Absolutely not. So at this point, Derek is just trying to figure out what he did. He said, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. She said, it's not about how you feel. If I tell you that I feel like you did something wrong, then I feel like you did something wrong. Meghan, shut up. Shut up. Your feelings are not facts. Then she goes in the room because she walks away because she don't want to talk to him no more. She closed the door, then she opens it up and she tells him to come here. So I guess they were supposed to go in this room and have a private conversation because I don't think she wanted the world to know how much of an asshole she really is, okay? And then she starts yelling about how she's not effing over what happened the other night and how he hurt her. He's like, what did I do to hurt you? She's telling him how she feels like he doesn't think she wants children and how he tried to gaslight her. And I'm sitting here like she could not know the definition of gaslighting because none of that happened. None of that happened. He asked her did she want children and she went off the rails. And that's exactly what he said. He said, what? I asked you a question and you blew up on me. And now you expect me to apologize? That girl is crazy. That girl is crazy. And I'm glad that he stood his ground and did not apologize for something that did not happen. And if anybody's gaslighting at this point, it's her. Then she accused the man of playing games. What games? Now she walks out of that room because she says she's effing over it. And I'm even mad that he even walked behind her and was like, so what did I do? You did nothing. She's crazy. Break up. Break up. She needs to be alone. She needs to be alone. She's insufferable. There's no reason why every time that man try to have a conversation about anything, this is the way the conversation goes. How can we communicate when every time he says something, you feel blindsided? You feel ambushed. We were having such a good episode. Most of the couples are doing just well, fine and dandy, working through things, communicating. And then there's Meghan. Anyway, y'all, that was episode 7. We are done with this batch of episodes. So, of course, y'all know I'll be back with the next batch. Okay? I'll be back. Don't forget to get in the comments. Let me know what you think about everything that happened. Go ahead, like this video, hype it up, and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.